We've come from somewhere. Tracing the Truth and Uniqueness podcast is connecting each one's to his or her ideal purpose. By listening to one or two episodes that we publish every month, you learn extraordinary stories from fabulous people from around the world. They either teach you, empower you, edify you, encourage you. They are saving people's lives. Season 4. You remember our season 4 will focus on the life experience, on pain, suffering. Most importantly, how have you become strong? How even have you overcome all this pain, struggles, the life experience which were more difficult for you to deal with? It can be emotional, it can be professional, it can be spiritual, it can be physical. So there are a lot of struggles, pain that we endure, that people experience, that are going through right now. So we have our first guest here, and we are very pleased to have her, Yessika Herrera. I think the pronunciation was good. We're going to welcome her, and then she will introduce herself. But a brief introduction that I only can give about Yessika is that she is an English teacher. She's also my language exchange partner. So um, we learn, we exchange the learning language each other. So I practice Spanish with her, and she's practicing French with me. And between all that, we have English in common. So that's just amazing. And I thank her today that she accepted to be, I can say, a savior, because what she's going to do, she's going to save a lot of people by the experience that she had. People, there are some people who have who are in the same situations. There are people who need maybe, the tips. I mean, the advice she received, the strategies, everything she has done to overcome, and how she remained strong, how she overcome, how she just stand tall. Today, she's living. So, hi, Yessika, how you doing?
Hello, Ellen. First of all, I want to thank you for your invitation. I feel very honored to be in your podcast today.
Thank you very much. Would you please introduce yourself a little bit? Can you talk to the Chasing the Truth family and friend? Who are you? What you do? Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Like Ellen already told you, I'm an English teacher at a private school here in Colombia. I live in a little town called Armenia. And I moved back to Colombia 4 years ago from Boston, Massachusetts, where I also had the opportunity to work and study um, in the field of education.
That's amazing. A part of that, what have you been doing? A part of teaching. What is it? Another passion that you have.
A few hobbies and or passions. I've always been interested in makeup. I think probably that's something you might not know, but so I used to have a YouTube channel, but I left that aside when I started working in education. But I hope to be able to get back to it. It's something that I enjoy doing on myself. Sometimes I'll do it on my family. I'll do makeup for my family or for my friends. I also love cooking. I'm vegetarian, so I enjoy like creating new recipes and kind of switching things and creating my own dishes. I also love learning languages. I I am trying to improve my French right now with Helen, and which has been very useful, and I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your help.
I think I understand what you mean. It's still, I think it's still profitable for like a wedding,
Uh-huh,
events.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you taking it in another level. You started as a business also. Okay, where do you want to take this business so far?
Well, I would I would love to be able to take my business to another level, maybe take it more seriously, like something more consistent.
Yeah,
Uh, right now, like I say, it's a little difficult because of my current job in education, so it's hard to find the time. So I hope to be able to like make an agenda or like get myself a little more organized
yeah,
to be able to offer my my services in makeup. And like I said, would be like for special events,
yes,
weddings or birthdays, things like that. And it would be mostly during the weekends or in the afternoons, because I also love my profession. I love teaching, and I wouldn't also I wouldn't give my profession up for makeup either. I think those are two things that I am very passionate about, and I need
yeah.
to find a balance and find time to do both.
Oh, talking about balance. Oh, finding a balance. I think it has been a difficult choice or difficult situation for many people. Whether
Yes.
maybe you are not, whether you are 20 and you don't know what you love, what you're passionate about. But at the end, when you finally found what you're passionate about, but you need a job. Either
Mm-hmm.
it's your passion, but you're working, so you can also do business the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of this, what have been another challenge, for you to find balance in your life, a part of this situation?
A part of the situation, finding balance in my emotional life, uh, it hasn't been very easy because I've come from a very long term relationship, and I found like some obstacles on the way when moving back to Colombia, which have made it difficult.
Mm. That's interesting. That's interesting point. I think emotional situation has been one of the most difficult, yeah, experience for many people. Yeah, when you're going through a a breakout, and yeah, and you mentioned about moving, leaving your country, move also leaving the country where you lived for studying, and
Hmm.
coming back. So and makeup. So when did you started doing makeup
Hmm.
professionally, like as a business?
That's that's a good question. I think probably like maybe I would say 7 years ago, 2000, maybe 2015. I started thinking about makeup more professionally. Um, I I did it first just as a hobby because I wanted to, to experiment with different makeup looks and create my own YouTube channel and teach people. But what I do and what it has worked for me. And then I started doing like freelance makeup for some clients on my free time, the free time that I had while I was doing my master's degree. So that was very helpful too, because it was kind of like a side job besides babysitting, which I was doing also at the time, to be able to pay for my education.
You were doing.
Hmm.
You mean you were doing it where? In Boston? In Boston?
Yes, in Boston, in Massachusetts. Yes, when I was
Oh,
there.
that's great.
When I came back here, it wasn't. It was difficult to get back to it because I started a new job. I just couldn't find the time, and to be honest, like finding customers here can be a little tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are not willing to pay. Maybe for the job that you do.
Where in Colombia?
Yes, in
Okay.
Colombia it's a little different. The makeup the makeup world, or um, so
So
it's
it is not a profitable business doing makeup in
yes.
Colombia. Do
Exactly.
you mean do you mean that women there don't really care about makeup?
Not so much. I would say they
Oh,
care more about, well, they like makeup, but it's something very simple. They
hmm,
usually care more about their hair or their
okay.
nails, and so it's not a very productive,
I think
job. Hmm.
naturally Colombian are beautiful women. So have you been a little bit like confused or
Hmm.
maybe you have this hesitation you on staying in Boston or living in Colombia?
Oh yeah. Um, it was definitely difficult to realize that I had to move back to Colombia because I lived in Boston for quite a while, almost like I would say 8 years. I was
Oh, that
coming
was
and
long.
going, but yeah, I had my friends there. Already, I was already thinking about making my life there with my partner, and realizing that I had to move back to Colombia because of many reasons, and reasons that were out of my control. It was pretty hard. I was also, I mean, on the other hand, I was happy to be able to see my family again, and reconnect with old friends, and you know be back in my country, my home country. But yeah, I think it's a mix of feelings. It's a mix of feelings when you
Hmm.
realize that you're leaving your life, part of your life behind, but you're coming back to reconnect with another part of it. So
Hmm. So talking about our season, speaking with you, I feel like you're a strong woman. I think women who are multitasking, doing many activities same time, they are strong. They are smart. They are independent. Sounds like you just need to take care of yourself first before anyone comes and take care of you.
yeah,
But and it gives this it shows this appearance that yes, she's strong. It seems like she hasn't overcome struggles, pain, things that another woman may see you and envy you and say, okay, I think she's not going through what I've been through. What can you tell people that a part of how you're living today, the status that you have right now, and living your passion, trying to find out a good way, but how you have been, how you dealt with difficult situation, and what was the the biggest challenge that you encounter in your life, the pain, the most painful thing that you experience, and that you maybe thought that you couldn't really have the strength to overcome it?
Mm-hmm. Sure. I think we have all gone through pretty tough, difficult situations. I think one moment that has really left a mark on me and has helped me become stronger with pain has been breaking up with my fiance. We were in a relationship for almost 10 years, I would say, since 2009. And when I had to move back to Colombia, things started, deteriorating. Our communication wasn't the same. That was the most difficult for me because I wasn't able to really be there for him, and he wasn't there for me either. And the distance was making a relationship difficult to maintain. So yeah, that experience, I think, is the one that has taught me the most, personally.
Emotional, the emotional pain. Oof. So do you think so? Have you been assisted emotion? I mean, it can be from friends, family. Is there anyone who have assisted you?
Yeah, definitely. I think there have been a lot of things that have helped me, and a lot of people who have helped me go through this experience. The main person I think that has supported me the most has been my mom. She's my best friend, and I trust her everything. I also have a very good friend who I share things with, and she has given me, support more than advice. I think sometimes um, advice can be very personal. Yes, it might not always work for you, but it's important to find a person there to hear you, that you can talk to, and you can get that emotional support. I have also relied a lot on how can I say, like videos in YouTube about coaching and relationship coaching, and they have really helped me um, go through
How
this
to let
situation
go?
much better.
Okay, like how to let go the pain or emotional breakout. Okay.
But I think the first and the most important thing that helped me to with my breakup was to understand that I that it needed to be that way. That my breakup needed to like my relationship needed to end for some reason that it was, out of my control, was out of my understanding. Um, Sometimes it can be hard to understand that things have to end for a reason, but at the end, it's all for the better. It might be because, both of the persons involved are not ready, right? Or maybe you're going through um, a very toxic relationship, right? Or it might be that maybe one of the person of the persons need to accomplish something in life, right? And he or she might not be happy um, being in a relationship. But I think that understanding that you need to be away from your loved person is the first step. And that doesn't mean like things can't change one day, maybe, or that you can work it out between you two, but I think um, you have to be very objective and observe if that person is really the it's truly the person that you're best to be with. Because if it is not, then the breakup was for a very good reason.
You said you have your mother really helped you a lot,
Yes, my mom really helped me.
and your best friend. So, what was the best advice that from your mother that your mother gave you and convinced you and calmed you?
Yes, I think it was thinking. The best advice she gave me was that I needed to think first about like about myself, like that I needed to focus rather on wanting anyone um, to give me their attention.
Hmm.
I was forgetting about myself and my own health, um, because I was focusing too much on fixing fixing the relationship, fixing something that it was not going to get fixed just because I was putting effort into it. I think for a relationship to work, I think um, both need to work together and need to um, there needs to be reciprocity in the relationship.
Hmm. That's exactly how things should be. Think your mother gave you good advice. But then, are you truly like recovered? Have you truly forgotten everything that happened to you? How you felt? Or you still have a little bit of, anger, frustration, many thought about this relationship?
I think I am at a better point in life right now. I think I stopped trying to fight with my feelings. I
Mm,
was for a long time very angry, and there was a lot of resentment because I couldn't understand why the other person wasn't thinking about me in the same way, or wasn't why he wasn't thinking about my own pain, and he was only focusing on his own problems and what he was dealing with. So I was feeling very frustrated. But I stopped trying to fight with how I felt. I knew I loved him, but I needed to focus on what I needed to do for myself, for my own health and peace of mind. I didn't want to keep trying to fix something that was not going to get fixed just because I was putting effort into it. Um, but yeah.
one of I think is the main painful thing that any human being can feel is because it's related to your heart. Is the most painful. I don't want to neglect those one. I don't know if you can agree with me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to neglect those who have overcome like physical pain. It can be surgery, it can be accidents, many things. Trauma, it's emotional. Love, breakout, it's emotional. Do you think it's the most painful, experience that someone can experience or can live?
Definitely. I mean, it would be hard to put all of those in on the same scale. Like I don't because they're all different pains. I think they're all different pains. They're all different experiences. What it might be a really deep heart experience for someone might not be for another one. I some of us can have like have can be more resilient, I would say, or can be more can be more can be stronger at
Yes.
recovering from these situations or dealing with them than others.
Yes.
Um, for me, it was very, very painful because it was a very long relationship. We were already thinking about like getting married, like um, things got postponed and everything, but there were a lot of memories. There was a very strong feeling, a very strong feeling of love. Um, and yeah, it's
You
it's
said 10
it's
years, right?
yeah, almost 10 years from 2009 up to, would say, 2019
Okay.
or so. Yes, when our relationship started deteriorating when I
An
came back.
honest question. So let's say that the Lord, the good Lord, can do something that can make you together come back again, in a relationship. Do
Mm-hmm.
you think you can give that trust that you had before?
Mm, well, I do believe in giving people second chances, but I think it also depends on how things ended up and what,
Yes.
like, who the
Mm-hmm.
person is. Like, you wouldn't give a second chance to a person who was very toxic to you or had
Mm-hmm.
very toxic behavior towards you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it all depends because I've heard a lot of things from friends saying like, okay, well, you can give, give him a second chance or an opportunity, but I believe that you're the only one that knows the situation, who the person you were with is, and you can make that decision. I think you can just guide yourself with you can just take any other people's advice without taking, like, without really reflecting on your own situation.
That's an interesting point there. But it's still painful, to make this choice, take this decision, because you loved the person, and to prove that you have this opportunity to get back in the relationship, and then you find out that, mm, am I really wanting to risk this again, or
Mm-hmm.
just let all this, because I've already healed. You healed, you recovered, you start forgetting, you start your new life,
Mm-hmm.
and you start envisioning something new. But then I think this is a really difficult part. I think it's painful somehow.
Yeah, and
That's
starting over, it's not easy,
mm-mm.
especially because if you're not fully healed, you're going to be reminding this person about all the bad things that happened during the relationship, and you don't want that for your future
Yeah.
relationship, right? So you need to heal first, like,
So
forgive
how did
yourself
this make
in
you stronger?
case. I think it helped me. I mean, with all of this experience, it helped me mature as a person, and it taught me that I do not have to ask or like beg anyone for their time
Mm-hmm.
to, or try to convince them to choose me
Yes.
as their partner,
Mm-hmm.
because no matter what you do, that person might not realize it, your value, until he or she doesn't have you anymore, right? Because
Anymore.
sometimes that
That's right.
happens when they lose you, or when you break up, then they realize how much you were worth.
Mm.
I think when you find your own value as a person, you don't need to convince anyone of your worth. And I think that was the main lesson, um, that also your partner can even attempt to, if your partner can attempt to give you what you need. Yes, when you are continuously giving him what he wants or what he needs, you need to stop making it easy for him, to stop allowing him to make, like how they say, withdrawals without demanding him to make deposits back into you. I think mature relationships are all about reciprocity. That's That's the main lesson. And you need to step away. If that's not happening, you need to step away. You need to understand that you need to take that time, both need to take that time away until you are ready.